TFNN.com, educating investors.
The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Trader's Edge with Steve Rhodes. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648 or internationally at 727-873-7618. The Trader's Edge. Now, Steve Rhodes.
Good afternoon, folks. Welcome to the July 14th, the terrific Thursday edition of today's Trader's Edge Show. I'm your host, Stevie Perseverance Rhodes, who absolutely knows that each of us should always be pioneers of our future versus prisoners of our past. Hope everyone out there is having a great day. Hey, let's make sure we have an extraordinary one. And the easiest way to do that is to always remember that life is happening for us, not to us. That's right. When you and I make that one little 2x4 shift, it means we can find a gift in every set of circumstance that life is going to toss at us. Now, today, you and I, we're going to go check on the circumstance of these markets. We'll go figure out what those bulls and bears, what those buyers and sellers are communicating to you and I at just past 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I do want you to know I'm absolutely grateful for your presence here. But more important than that, and that's this. During this next 53 minutes, I'm here to serve you. So feel free to pick up that phone. You can dial on in at 877-927-6648. Would love to hear from you. But if you can't dial in, well, we've got you covered there too. You can always let those fingers do the walking. That means go ahead and send me an email. Send it to Steve at TFNN.com. And inside the subject heading, if you'd be kind enough to put radio show question. Of course, inside our Tigers Den, well, any and every ping will do. So let's go ahead and get this show started on terrific Thursday. Of course, this is Tiger Financial News Network. I'm Steve Rhodes. Welcome to the show. Right now, you got all the U.S. indices trading to the downside. The Dow's off 445 points, about 1.5%. 1 4/10 for the S&P, that's 52 points. 104 points, or 0.9% for the NASDAQ 100. The Russell's off 38, or 2.25%. Semis are down only 0.25%. That's 7 points to the downside. Trendy's off 209. Gold's getting schnockered. It's off $30, trading out at 17.04. Silver's really getting hit hard. That's off $1, trading out at 18.18. Light sweet crude off $1.44. Trade out at 94.86. Natural gas up 2 cents right now. 6.71 is the print there. And the 30-year Treasury is back about 1 point. 139.14 is the print. Leading the charge, dollar-wise, the upside, you've got Gorilla Technology Group up 2,650%. Must be an IPO. So it's up that much. Must have been at $1 yesterday. Don't know what's going on there, but nice move. Costco is up $11 or 2.5%. AMN Healthcare is up $7, basically 6%. Argenix is up $7, 6%. Ritchie Brothers, the auctioneers, right off of I-4 out there towards Tampa. Big, huge facility, up about 10% or about 6 buckaroonies. To the downside, leading the charge, dollar-wise, is Coca-Cola. It's off $93, 16%. Ooh, that's getting schnocked. Booking Holdings is off $53, down 3%. Google's off 37, or nearly 2%. And Novavax is off $18, $51 is where it's trading at. Of course, I want to look at what you want to look at. So what is that? Well, let's start picking apart these markets out here. So to do that, let's start with just simply take a look at the daily equity future contracts to see what we know. We took a look at this set of charts here yesterday. If we take a look at the ES Mini, still strong like bull. What's that mean? Well, what it means is that price is pulled back into its bullish structured daily profile. That's a strong support area, and that strong support area, or should be, doesn't mean that it can't get overthrown, but you can. But 36.89 to 37.40 is your support zone. We're trading at 37.51 right now. If you take a look at that NASDAQ 100, it's really descending, or the rising trend line that it has held. Of course, it's got a descending trend line not too far above from where it's trading right now. But right now, you'd have to say that, well, trend line support has held. So the top two, you've got support levels holding. In the case of the Dow, it broke that trend line support, but it's traded right back into its bullish structured daily profile. Let me get rid of those trend lines, just clear up the chart a little bit for you, make it easier for you that are watching on Tiger TV or inside of our den. So there you can see that the Dow is actually pulled back to its support level. It has a bullish structured profile. That region is 29,983 to 3327. And in the case of the Russell 2000, it also is trading below its trend line, but it hasn't broken support. The support level would be the bottom of its profile, and that's at the 1667 area. So we've got that as a basis for, so what does this mean with today's pullback? Are we at a support level? Are we at a bottom for a bounce in the case of the Dow to take a Dow equity future contract up to about 360? The ES mini, 3842 is a resistance level. Is that what's going to unfold? Well, to find out the answer to that question, we need to take a look at a couple of different things. Let's stay with the ES Mini right now. And so for the ES Mini, we want to take a look at that spot volatility. So we're going to go over to that chart right now. Let me make sure I'm on the right page. I am. Good. And here, if we take a look at the spot volatility, I'll just expand out the chart here. We'll see that right now it's trading at 2766, and 2760 is that 50-day exponential moving average. So put 2760 on your pad of paper. If price closes above that, it says potentially more downside action inside the ES Mini overnight, inside the S&P 500. If price closes below that, it says, hey, that low with price moving into that bullish structured profile area, we may see some kind of a rally out there. So that's the first thing that we'll take a look at. What's the second thing that we'll look at? The second thing that we should look at are what's going on inside the market breadth for its TAS market profile. So right now, it's just bearish across the board, whether it's weekly, daily, 240, or the 60-minute time frame. Let's take the daily is really sitting. So the daily, because price moved back to that support level, let's just see how bad the market breadth is out here. In the market breadth, right now, you've got only 16 instruments trading above the top of the profile and 28 trading below the bottom. Now, there's 500 this is the NASDAQ 100. My apology. I was supposed to go take a look at the S&P for you. Give me a second here. We'll come back to the NASDAQ 100, but let's just try to keep this somewhat logical, if Stevie can. So here we can see all the speed dials in the red zone. But again, on the daily chart, let's just see what it's looking at. We can look at all four time frames out here. So on the daily time frame, what we have right now is 60 instruments trading above the top, 215 trading below the bottom. So that says that any move higher could be a struggle out here, or should, quite frankly, be a struggle. If you look at the weekly time frame chart, it's even worse. 229 instruments above the top, 277 below the bottom out there. Doesn't mean a bottom can't be formed, but if we look at the hourly time frame chart, well, it's in bearish territory as well with regard to its market profiles where price is trading. 64 instruments trading above the top, 313 trading below the bottom. Is there any good news out here when it comes to market breadth? And we want to understand market breadth. That's why these rallies keep getting sold. So that's kind of important to understand. 42 instruments on the 240-minute chart above the top and 339 below the bottom. So it doesn't look like much good news there. What's going on the intraday time period charts out, intraday, on the 30-minute charts? So I do have a 30-minute profile. We'll take a look at that, and then we'll go take a look at the 30-minute chart out there. I actually should change over to that on my other screen so it makes this kind of smooth as a transition. So where we're at right now on the 30-minute time frame chart is still in bearish crossover mode, meaning there's 32 instruments on a 30-minute basis that are trading below the bottom of their profile, 16 trading above the top. That puts... No, is this right? That's the NDX 100 too. Geez Louise, Stevie. It didn't make sense to me, and I finally caught it. So let me give you the right data. Forget about what I just said. Whoa. I didn't really mean to delete that, but I'll get that fired back up when we come back to break, and I'll give you the real statistics out there. Might help you if I was consistent. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We'll be right back.
Of booming inflation, where your purchasing power is eroded, there's no better place to protect your hard-earned money than in gold. Vista Gold's flagship asset is the Mount Todd Gold Project in the Northern Territory of Australia. This is Australia's largest undeveloped gold project. We are talking a world-class gold project in a Tier 1 mining district. This is a large-scale, low-cost project with significant existing infrastructure in a politically safe and friendly mining jurisdiction. Vista Gold just completed the Mount Todd feasibility study, which resulted in a 7 million ounce gold reserve and a 16-year mine life. All of this, combined with the approvals of all major operational as well as environmental permits. This distinguishes Mount Todd as an attractive, de-risk partner ready development stage gold project. Vista Gold trades on the New York Stock Exchange under the symbol VGZ.
Steve Rhodes started his trading career as a student almost 20 years ago, and the student has now become the master. Steve won the prestigious Timer of the Year award in 2018 and barely missed that mark again in 2019, finishing at number 2 for the year. An amazing accomplishment. Steve Rhodes is committed to sharing his techniques and knowledge with anyone who wants to learn, and he shares his vast amount of trading knowledge every day in his Mastering Probability newsletter. Steve's award-winning newsletter, Mastering Probability, is delivered every trading day with updates throughout the afternoon. Sign up for Steve's market newsletter, Mastering Probability, and you'll receive access to 7 of Steve's educational webinars absolutely free. At TFNN, all our newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Visit TFNN.com and try Mastering Probability 30 days risk-free today. TFNN, educating investors.
Are you looking for a way to consistently add winning trades to your portfolio? Tom O'Brien is here to help. Tom O'Brien has been successfully trading markets for over 30 years. A frequent contributor to TD Ameritrade Network and CNBC, Tom O'Brien founded TFNN over 20 years ago to help educate investors just like you. Tom's daily market newsletter, Market Insights, is published every morning when the markets open to give you the competitive informational edge you need to succeed. These newsletters are packed full of Tom's advanced technical analysis and are geared to deliver comprehensive strategies for a successful portfolio. Get Tom O'Brien's newsletter, Market Insights, today and try all of our products and newsletters 30 days risk-free with our money-back guarantee at TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-873-7618.
Welcome back, folks. So we got that straightened out here on the 30-minute time frame chart. That's what we're looking at right now. Well, we're looking at the market breadth for the 30-minute 30 minutes for the S&P 500. We've got right now we've got 108 instruments trading above the top of their profile. It's about 23%, and 14% below the bottom, 116. So even though the line here hasn't caught up, that just changed while we were on the air. It's kind of getting to a neutral standpoint out there. What all this means to me is that if you are trading, it's really short-term traders market for sure. And so from a short-term trader's standpoint, it's helpful to understand the patterns that are going on. And so let's go take a look at some of those patterns out here. We'll get the white background charts up on our screen, our multi-panel chart. This is for the ES Mini. Now, we do know that support is held, at least one level of support is held, and that's the center of its bullish structure daily profile. Price is still below that red oscillator and change line, so it's nowhere near out of the woods. In fact, a close today below 37.76 would suggest that price is going to go retest today's low, maybe even beyond that out there. So watch that come at the end of the session. But if you look at a example on the bottom right here, you got a 10-minute chart. So pretty short-term time frame, but these patterns work for all the different time frames. If you look at the 30-minute, so one of the nice things about having these multiple time frames up on your screen at one time is when you do get multiple patterns that are all giving you the same signal. For example, the 60-minute chart formed a TD9 count, Rhodes Momentum Indicator bottom. At the same time that was going on, you had a TD9 count that had confirmed at 10:30 in the morning on the ES Mini for the 30-minute time frame. It was 12 noon or 11 o'clock when you had the TD9 count form inside the 60-minute time frame chart. And then at about, from a 10-minute standpoint, it was at 10:30 this morning. You had a nice TD9 count, Rhodes Momentum Indicator bottom that was forming there. Now, what price did here, and I think the real key resistance level, so there's really two of them. Actually, if you take a look at the 120-minute time frame chart out here, this too completed a TD9 count pattern. And we can see that that red oscillator and change line has acted as a resistance zone. And on the 30-minute chart, it was a TD9 count breakdown level, 37.69. So 37.65 is the print right now on the 120-minute time frame chart. But as price moves higher, should it move higher, it'll move up to the 37.69, 37.70 level. So if you see the ES Mini close above 37.69.25 on a 30-minute basis, odds favor price will make a run for 37.8150. 37.8150 is the top of that 120-minute profile. If price can close above that, then that's a signal that we should see a move to 37.97 and 38.06. Those would be the target levels out here. Now, we saw a pullback. If we take a look at the let's focus on the 30-minute chart out here. Let's expand that out. So we saw that kind of live. You may have caught that change when I had the market breadth tool up on the screen. That that was getting back to neutral. In fact, now it looks like we've got that bullish crossover. 165 instruments trading above the top, 81 below. So what that is supporting here, if we take a look at what's going on inside the ES mini, forms that nice TD9 count bottom. There was also an A to B equals CD to the downside pattern that completed with that bullish hammer candle at 10:30 this morning. I don't have that drawn in there, but each of you can visually see that pattern. So then what does price do? It gets up to the resistance level. That's at that 37.69 area. Backs off. Yeah, closes above it. Remember, we have that 2-bar close rule, above resistance, below support, in order for it to be something other than a false move out there. So price gets back inside, gets below 37.69, and what does it do? Pulls all the way back to that red oscillator and change line. That is a level of support. That has held. We're seeing price bounce off of that area here. So it looks to me like what price is doing, because it's trading above the top of a new profile. It's been out here for about 2 hours. If price is able to close above this, and it looks like it's going to, but I don't know, I can't guarantee that. That's 37.5975. We're at 37.61 right now. That certainly does suggest taking a run for the highs, but this could also be setting up an A to B equals CD to the upside. And that's what the 30-minute charts would be telling us. But we know we got to pay attention to what's going on in the other time frames. Well, look, even on a 60-minute time frame chart, price pulled back and tested and held its red oscillator and change line out there. So that's what's going on intraday. What else is it that I can share with you? Well, the other thing is, let's go take a look at what's going on at the index ETFs. Many of you may not have access to the equity future contracts. You don't trade those. So is there any kind of signal coming from anything that you could be charting out there? So great question. I would say look at the index ETFs. What's the message that we have here? Well, in the case of the spiders, the SPY, it hasn't even gotten back to its swing point. Its swing point, by the way, is from the trading session of June 17th. The volume there was 111 million shares. So we have been trading for, in essence, 9:30, 10:30, 11, 12, 4 hours. So let me get that into my little system here. 4 hours, and we've got volume of 49.6 million shares. That says that what we should do is about 80 million shares. So even though price, it's pulling back with light volume. It hasn't tested that swing point. You'd prefer to see it test that swing point. The Q is the same thing, not testing a swing point. But where we are getting a test of a swing point is both in the Dow Diamonds and the Russell 2000. The Dow Diamonds are testing their June 17th swing point. That had volume of 4.7 million shares. So let me just go see where we're going to potentially close today. We're at 1.9. Let's just make that a 2, even Steven. That says about a 1.6 million. No. I must have done that wrong. Oh, I did. Stevie, what the heck are you doing? That's too funny. So give me a second here to do this. It's about 3 million shares. So again, what if the Dow Diamonds close above 301.58, you will have a test, or you should have, or it appears you will have, a test and rejection on lighter volume. Now, price is below the bottom of its profile, so you'd like to see it close above that as 305.01. And, that could give you a signal to trade this up to perhaps the level of about 318 out here. The Russell 2000, we can see right now, it is testing its swing point. Its swing point was from the trading day of June 16th. Now, this has traded 14 million shares so far. 14 million shares says that this should do approximately 23 million shares by day's end. You would get a gigantic test and rejection of that short term, of that swing point, that June 16th swing point, with a close above 168.42. So this is something that each of you can do on your charts, regardless of the equity future contracts. The equity future contracts, I believe, are better to provide you with overall signals, but at least this is something that you can do at home. So how do we summarize all this? I still believe it's short-term trading out there. Watch those patterns. Watch those resistance levels. I don't think we've got a great daily signal just yet. Even though we had a 30-minute crossover for a TAS market breadth, we've got one would have to fall after the other. So the next one that would have to fall would be the 60-minute time frame for the S&P 500, and that is still very, very, very bullish. So what should you expect? A choppy market, even if the market is trying to form some type of bottom out there. Let's go to some of the questions that have come in here. We don't want to get too far behind. The first one coming in from Dan inside the Tiger's Den. And Dan wanted to take a look at SAVA. SAVA is a ticker symbol, Cassava Sciences. So as we take a look at SAVA, let me sure I'm on the right chart. Yeah, I'm on the right chart, sorry, right screen out here. So here, if we take a look at the black background screens, what we're going to see is SAVA produced a swing point back on the trading day of June the 13th. The volume there was 1.3 million shares. You're at 500,000 shares today. 500,000 shares equates to, a straight line math, at about 812. Is that right? Yeah, 5,500 gets us to about 812. That's going against 1.3 million. So you're getting, Dan, a nice test and rejection of a swing point on much lighter volume. The weekly chart shows that prices pulled back to its bullish structured profile support level in 1883 and 2114. The monthly is where you've got the biggest problem. But the month's not over. But price is trading below that support level, 24.15. Be right back to continue looking at SAVA.
If you want to take advantage of this sector, now is the time to subscribe to my Gold Report. The Gold Report is a comprehensive look at the metals sector as well as the markets that move gold, which is the currency and bond markets. New subscribers get a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to lose. Every Monday morning, I publish the Gold Report with coverage of gold, silver, bonds, the XAU, HUI, GDX, as well as more than 30 different mining equities. To see for yourself the types of profitable trades that are recommended within the Gold Report, sign up now by visiting TFNN.com. Don't miss out on the next great gold trade. Sign up today.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
Sharpening your skills as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern, for free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
This segment is brought to you by Thinkorswim. For more information, just click the Thinkorswim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. So we're taking those white background charts for Cassava Sciences out here. Dan, what this also has is a nice TD9 count bottom pattern. And as long as price looks like the low of that pattern was on the bar number, yesterday's bar, that low out there of 22.77. Oscillator and change line recently changed colors. That's really the price target to the upside, 25.07 or thereabouts. If price can close above that, it's got resistance at 26.12, the bottom of its daily profile. In addition to trading into, in essence, the support region from the weekly time frame, prices held that oscillator and change line. And on a monthly basis, you also have a confirmed TD9 count bottom. Of course, at the end of the month, you'd like to see price close above the bottom of that profile. That would then suggest you run up into the 41 area. So we don't like the fact that price is trading below the daily and the monthly profiles out there, but we do like the fact you've got a TD9 count on the daily and the monthly. At a minimum, you should at least get a move up to that 2507 area. Dan, I hope that helps you out. Thanks so much for taking the time to write in. The next question came in from, we've got a caller on the line. Let's go to Bill in Montana. Bill, thanks for calling. Thanks for holding. How are you today?
Hey, good, Steve. See, I was looking at a grayscale Bitcoin, and I'm not having much success finding out how the premium discount to its actual holdings has varied over the last 18 months. I'm wondering if that's something you can get quickly.
I can't get that quickly. I don't have. Tom's got the best tools for that from his Bloomberg system. So I wish that I could provide you with that information. The thing with regard, and I haven't traded GBTC, or maybe I tried it once. I don't recall. But do you know what the holdings are inside that ETF? I know it's Bitcoin, but which contracts? Do you know, or is? I don't know. That's why I was asking.
I think they hold a lot of.
That's the first place. That's the first place where I would start, and I'm trying to look right now. Sometimes it pops right up when I look at it. I'm not seeing that right now. I said really have to investigate that. I mean, I want to take. I want to answer your question absolutely, or at least the best that I can. But I don't know what the holdings are inside of GBTC. And so that would be the first place that I would start. It may be just simply the current Bitcoin contract. I'm not seeing any chatter inside.
They have a lot of ARC, next generation internet, and Simplify U.S. Equity, SPBC, which I have no idea what that is.
Yeah. So let's do this here. Because 1:30. If you listen, what I'll try to do after the show is try to figure out what's inside GBTC, put some charts together for that. You can do one of two things. You can send me an email at steve@tfnn.com and just put GBTC in the heading, or I'll cover it tomorrow, and you can listen in, assuming that I can find something there for you. As far as what it's doing, excuse me?
I said terrific.
Okay. As far as what it's doing right now, first I'd love to understand what the holdings are inside this. When I take a look at its daily chart out there, this does have a Rhodes Momentum Indicator bottom that's been confirmed, and price should make its way up to the $14 level. It looks like the weekly chart, I've got a bottom pattern as well, and that suggests I've got a TD9 count bottom, and that suggests that price should move up to 1517. The monthly says just hold your horses. It may want to make a move back to 913, and in doing so over the course of the next month or two, that might be your buy area. That could generate a TD9 count top. On a monthly basis, what this generated for us, Bill, was a TD9 count top as well. That was back, it looks like, around November of 2021 out there. So let's leave it like this. I'll try to find out what's inside there and either send me an email, or if I don't get an email from you, I'll cover it tomorrow during the morning. So I'm going to record tomorrow's show between 8 and 9. Does that work for you?
You bet, Steve. Have a good one.
Perfect. Okay, you too. Thanks so much for calling. That was Bill in Montana. The next question that we've got in the queue here came from that Nicholas wants to take a look at the semiconductors. So what I'm going to do here to take a look at the semiconductors is just put up the SMHs, which is really what he's in. And the question is, should he stay with his long trade out here? And the answer to that question, let's take a look at the charts. Here's what we know. If we take a look at the weekly time frame chart, what this has is a confirmed buy the D point. I don't have the A to B, C to D pattern drawn in, but you can visually see that, and you can see the reason why I say that it was confirmed was because last week was a bullish piercing candle. Now, what price should do here, Nicholas, is make its move up to the 217.60 to 220.72. If we look at the daily time frame, it too completed a buy the D point, and it did that when price gapped up on the trading day of July 7th. If you take a look at yesterday's action, price pulled back and filled that gap. trading higher today, trading above yesterday's close, not yesterday's high just yet. But yes, I would stay with the SMH trade. You've been in it, and this should make its way up to the 218.81 level out there. Is there anything else that I can share with you? Really not much in that. I think it's just a trade at this stage here based upon the monthly time frame chart and based upon the fact that the daily hasn't taken out any key levels of resistance. So, Nicholas, I hope that helps you out. Thanks so much for the request. The next request coming in is from Doug, I believe in Central Florida. I want to take a look at Harmony Gold. HMY is the ticker symbol. Now, I'm going to switch charts here just for a moment because Doug's question was, should he trade the channel? So let's go change screens here and get to the black. It's easier for me to do that on this set of charts here. Again, that was Harmony Gold, HMY. And so with regard to a channel, there's really two different things I would look at. If I were going to draw the channel lines in there, give me a second here, get rid of these trend lines. I'm going to put the trend lines back up because I think that's perhaps more important. But the channel would look probably something like this. Now, I think you were looking at a smaller channel because you mentioned, I think, something in the May time frame. So if I just take a look at a channel within a channel out here, I suppose this might be what you're looking at, something like this. So your question is, should you trade the channel? Let's go look at the white background charts and see if there's other information that we can glean that might be easier for you to use to make some kind of determination as to what to trade. So we're just back here to take a look at the daily, weekly, and the monthly time frame charts. So what do we know about the daily time frame chart? Well, first, price is trading below yesterday's low out there. You've got yesterday's low. Yesterday's candle actually confirmed. It was a third confirmation of a Rhodes Momentum Indicator signal. The Rhodes Momentum Indicator signal had triggered here on June 14th. But that's failed. At least it's failed as of 1:37 in the afternoon because price is trading below those support levels. The support level, the lowest support level out here, that price would have to close above today to say that today's move was a fake-out move, would be a close above 303. So I'm assuming you're trying to trade the channel and try to trade it from the downside out here. Now, I don't have the intraday charts up on the screen, but I would wait for another bullish reversal candle. And then where price should trade to then, the oscillator and change line, which is currently 308, would be one level of resistance. Your next level would be 321. The next level above that, which would be a key area, would be 332. And then above that would be 349. If we look at the weekly time frame chart, perhaps tomorrow will give you your better signal out here. This has formed a TD9 count bottom. It did that the week of June 17th. The low out there is what you're going to want to watch, which is 303. We're at 299. If price can hold that 303 level, then that pattern will have survived, at least at this stage. Whereas tomorrow at the close, Doug, if price closes below that, it says that it wants to move to lower price. And that lower price level, the next support area that I see out here, is at 235. And 235 happens to be the bottom of the monthly profile. I am not saying that's where price is going, not just yet. But if you do get it closed below that 303 level tomorrow, that's what the charts would be communicating to you. So, Doug, I hope that helps you out with regard to your questions about should you trade the channel. I'd rather trade the patterns that we're looking at out here. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We'll be right back.
TFNN has been your trusted source of analysis for bonds, metals, stocks, commodities, and options for years. And we are happy to announce that we are bringing that same caliber of analysis for the Forex market. Teddy Keckstadt has 30 plus years of experience in Forex trading, commodity risk management, Forex hedging, volatility, and so much more. Teddy releases his weekly Tiger Forex report every Monday morning with elite coverage of all major currency pairs, including the DXY, Euro dollar, Pound dollar, Aussie dollar, dollar yen, dollar Swiss franc, and so much more. Teddy will recommend specific trades when the market presents them and provide updates throughout the week when warranted. For the month of July, inaugural members to the Tiger Forex Report will receive 25% off the monthly subscription for as long as they're subscribed. Just use promo code TEDDY25 to lock in the added savings. This offer is good only for the month of July, so do not miss your opportunity to save on the Tiger Forex Report. TFNN, educating investors.
Technology around us is changing every day. With so much happening, it can seem impossible to keep up with all the information. David White's investment newsletter, The Technology Insider, is designed to give you all the information you need to understand the technology that shapes today's markets and tomorrow's future. David White has made his living staying on the cutting edge of technology. His weekly newsletter will give you specific recommendations for value tech stocks, as well as entry prices, target prices, and stops to set for each trade. Dave delivers his weekly newsletters every Friday with updates throughout the week. You can get the Technology Insider at TFNN.com for only $37.50. Sign up for David's newsletter, The Technology Insider, and get an inside look at everything the technology sector has to offer. Try it risk-free today with our 30-day money-back guarantee. TFNN, educating investors.
Biotech is booming, but for how long? Whether you think the biotech bull has room to run or has run its course, trade LABU or LABD. Directions Daily S&P Biotech 3 times bull and bear ETFs. Visit directioninvestments.com/biotech today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
This program is brought to you by Vista Gold, traded on the NYSE American and TSX under the symbol VGZ.
Welcome back, folks. Let's take a look at our next request out here. This one from the Tiger's Den. John in the Tiger's Den wants to take a look at the 30-year Treasury. Mostly interested in the intraday charts out here. So from an intraday standpoint, let's start with the shortest one. That's the 10-minute time frame. 10-minute time frame forms a nice TD9 count bottom. Does that at 9:40 this morning. Price is trading right now, John, above the top of its. I'm sorry, it's trading with inside its 10-minute profile. Price should go target the 139.26 area is what it looks like it's trying to do. That's a 10-minute time frame chart. Let's go look at a 15-minute chart out here. Again, these are intraday signals. What do I have as far as a bottom pattern? Looks like to me an A to B equals CD. That completed with this bullish hammer candle. Price here wants to go target about the same area. So again, the same signal, not unusual there. A 30-minute, a 10 and a 15-minute chart. If we look at the 30-minute chart out here for the 30-year. I don't know if that completed. It looks like it completed a Gartley buy pattern with that piercing candle, that formed bullish piercing candle that formed at 10 o'clock. That was today, as a matter of fact. And price right now trading with inside that profile as well. So that wants to go hit the top of that profile, John. So it looks like a further move higher on the 30-minute time frame chart. If you look at the 60-minute chart out, the 60-minute chart price is trading above its green oscillator and change line. 140.05 is a resistance zone. So I'd watch how price handles that area out there. So that's a 60-minute. So you wanted me to focus really on the intraday charts out there. Those are them. But if we look at the other charts, the 240. Price right now trading above its green oscillator and change line. That suggests a further rally. The same on the 5-hour time frame chart. And on the daily time frame chart, price is inside a bullish structured daily profile, and price is above the center of that level, and that suggests a further move higher out there. So, John, I hope that helps you out with regard to the 30-year Treasury. Thanks so much for the request. We had another request inside the Tiger's Den to take a look at AMD. So let's pull that up on our screen. This is for G-Man out here, and when we get this up on our screen, what is this showing us? Now, I don't know what the question was other than just take a look at it. So as we take a look at AMD, you can see the price is trading with inside its daily profile. It's above its oscillator and change line. It's above the center of that profile. So odds favor that it's going to go test 79.91. Now, I don't know if there's a bottom pattern out here as we speak. Nothing that shows up instantly, but maybe I have to pull the chart back further. Probably would have to do that to find an A to B equals CD pattern. And I'm sure there's one of those. Let's open up this chart. Yeah, most definitely there's one of those out there. Now, if price here, GMAC, can close above 79.91, you may have a change in trend signal, or at least a change in trend to say we want to move higher. Now, that next higher level out here that would be resistance that shows up on my screens right now would be at that weekly oscillator and change line, which is also right near the bottom of its weekly profile. So that would suggest if you can close above 79.91, a move up to the 88.19 area. And if price can do that, then you're going to get back above the TD9 count breakout level on the monthly chart out there. So that would be a beautiful thing. So right now, you're just kind of consolidating, not kind of, you are consolidating, or it is consolidating within its daily profile. No idea whether we'll take that area out. That's at the 79.91 level. But if it does, you could expect or anticipate to move up to 88.19. So I hope that provides you with the information that you were looking at there. Thanks so much for the request. The next question coming in from Pat S. And Pat says, how long do the perigee, apogee pivot points have an effect? For about 2 weeks. So, you've got perigee, it lasts for about 2 weeks, and then you've got apogee that will take place after that. Let's go take a look at those charts here. Let me pull that up on the screen. So here's apogee and perigee for 4 different instruments. And the question is, do the perigee, apogee pivot points affect individual stocks or just indexes? So I don't know the answer to that question, Pat, because I've never really applied it to a stock. And the reason is that most of these pivot points will come in at non-trading hours. Sometimes it'll happen over a weekend out there. So I've never done the test to see if it will apply. And so what happens if you have, like yesterday, perigee came in at, I'm just going off of my recollection, I think it was 5:02 a.m. So at 5:02 a.m., what are you going to go to? Maybe pre-market trading, and most instruments aren't really trading at that stage. So it's really the futures contracts that I use out there. That's where all my testing was done. And you can use that to apply not to individual stocks, but certainly the general market out here. So if we take a look at the current apogee or perigee pivot points out here, for the ES Mini, that level is at 38.35. So that formed at around 5:02 a.m. yesterday morning, and then there was a run-up that tested it. That was in the ES Mini we're looking at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Now, this is a 30-minute time frame chart out there. Gets really right up to the 38.35 level. It got up to 38.34. Wasn't able to close above it. So the market itself, or the ES Mini, doesn't get really bullish, so to speak, until price closes above that level. If you don't see the chart, I'm sorry about that. Stevie, thank you, Jay, for hit me upside the head there with that 2x4. So let's put that chart up on the screen there. My apology. You now should see it. Upper left-hand corner is the ES Mini. It's got the perigee pivot point, 38.35. So I'd be watching that on any moves higher. If we take a look at the NQ, you can see the A to B equals CD pattern on a 30-minute basis, that form there. That created, in essence, a buy the D point pattern out here. Let's go ahead and turn that off. And let's just take a look at perigee. So your perigee pivot point, we saw yesterday how price got up to that 11,829 area. It did it, the first time was at, this is the 30-minute chart. First time was at 10:30 to 11. Next was between 11 and 11:30. The next was at between 1 and 1:30. The next, there was a close just slightly above it at 2:30. But remember, we've got that 2-bar rule out there. That doesn't mean we go to 2 bars at a time. It means we wait for 2 bars to close above resistance, which perigee was, 11,829, to prove itself to us. Well, it didn't prove itself to us. It proved that was just simply, you got to give it a little bit of wiggle room. G-Wiggle, by the way. I love that tune out there. Who is that? Gerald Albright out there. In any event, I was sidetracking. Watch the 11,829.25 level. If price closes above that, 2 bars on a 30-minute basis, that would suggest starting to look for trades to the upside. Maybe if you're an intraday trader, looking for retracements, maybe retracement back into perigee. Gold, which was trading above that, finally gave up the ghost at about 2 o'clock this morning. So I'd be watching 1724.90 there. In the case of light sweet crude, it would be 97.20. So good questions, Pat. But that perigee and apogee lunar phase typically takes place at odd times of the day. It's a 24-hour type of a system out there. And I have never tested it against individual stocks when it does occur between the trading hours of 9:30 and 4 in the afternoon. So I do hope that helps you out. And thanks so much for the request. It looks like, this would be a good thing, that Stevie with time to go, has gotten through all of the requests out there. Yeah, now I don't know if there was anything inside the Tiger's Den, which I could have missed. And if I did miss something, if you'd go ahead and just type that in right now, that would be a great thing. Although, let me just see. That was a chart, please. So that was Jay that was giving me that signal. So I appreciate that. Steve, Cal. Okay, so Jimmy, we're going to go take a look at ticker symbol CAL. I'm going to remember to change screens here, and then at least I'll be what I'm talking about. You'll actually see, as opposed to saying what out there. So now I don't know what Cal is. I don't need to know what Cal is. We could be trading anything. We're using the same set of instruments out here. So when we take a look at Cal, whatever this is, and we're looking for some kind of signals, it's the weekly that shows the TD9 count top out here. And actually the monthly has one as well. And the monthly, that TD9 count has led to nothing more than a consolidation with inside its profile. So I'd say this is in a consolidation pattern to me. That's between 2027 and 2936. Your resistance on a daily basis, in order for price to get up to 2936, is going to have to clear 2698, that green oscillator and change line. The weekly sitting right on its green oscillator and change line, so it's sort of neutral right now. But its TD9 count top took price right back to support the old top of its profile out there, which apparently is now old resistance, new support. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We'll be right back.
Vista Gold owns and operates the largest undeveloped gold project in Australia, the Mount Todd Gold Project. Vista Gold just completed their feasibility study, resulting in a 7 million ounce gold reserve. Vista Gold has all major permits approved and has retained CIBC capital market assistance in evaluating alternatives and in completing an accretive transaction. Vista Gold trades on the NYSE American and TSX under the ticker symbol VGZ. Vista Gold, executing a strategy to create shareholder value.
You might think that if you want to be successful at trading in the stock market, you're going to need a crystal ball. After all, it's impossible to predict the future, right? Like any endeavor in life, before you decide it's impossible, get some advice from the experts. You might find that it's not so impossible after all. For daily market overviews that give you direction on the key indices, selective stocks, and commodities, subscribe to the Opening Call newsletter at TFNN.com. The Opening Call newsletter is written by Basil Chapman, creator of the trading methodology known as the Chapman Wave. The Chapman Wave up-down sequence gives you an edge in identifying price turns, finding the peaks and valleys in stock prices. Get the Opening Call newsletter by Basil Chapman in your inbox every day. First-time subscribers also get a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you're not satisfied, let us know, and you'll get a full refund within 30 days of signing up. TFNN.com, educating investors.
Everything in the universe is governed by the Fibonacci sequence. This mathematical principle is responsible for everything from the most aesthetically pleasing artwork to patterns in the stock market. To stay on top of stock patterns you can take advantage of, sign up for the Fibonacci 24/7 newsletter at TFNN.com. When you subscribe, you'll get a weekly report from veteran day trader Larry Pesavento on stocks you need to pay attention to. And you can trust Larry's analysis. After all, he's got 45 years experience as a day trader. Larry will also provide daily charts, videos, and data on the key markets that he's tracking. Expect notifications from Larry on market movement you need to act on at any time. First-time subscribers also get a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you're not satisfied, let us know and you'll get a full refund within 30 days of signing up. Subscribe to the Fibonacci 24/7 newsletter today. TFNN.com, educating investors.
TFNN has launched the Tiger's Den, hosted at Discord. TFNN has been educating traders for more than 20 years with live programming hosted by a variety of professional traders during market hours. The Tiger's Den, available to all tigers and tigresses for just $1 for the year. There's no catch or added costs when you join our community of traders. Sign up today and become a part of this educational community of traders. Just visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV.
Welcome back, folks. We got all U.S. cities. Well, I take that back. The semis are up 23 points. We got a little bit of a mixed bag out there. You got the Dow off 355, S&P down 37, Nasdaq's off 39. It's only 0.3% to the downside out there. Gold off $27, trading out at 1708. It's holding yesterday's bullish engulfing by the D-point pattern out there. So something to consider. What else do we want to consider today? You know, I was taking a look at earlier in the day. I was taking a look at Apple and how it was trading. Apple's trading into a swing point. That swing point out here. There's really two swings that it's trading into. The first one is June the 1st. That's got volume of 74 million shares. Right now we're at 48. That says we're on pace to do about 69 million shares. Don't know if that's where we'll end up or not. And then the second swing point is the one from 3 days ago, and that's June the 12th. That has volume of 77 million shares as well, about 69. So price is running right up into resistance here, and this is really for Nancy inside the Tiger's Den out there. So you exited your trade. That's a beautiful thing because price is sitting right up at support, and that's at the 147.55 level. Now, if price can clear 147.55, and I'll change that to 147, let's just call it 148. If price can close above 148 and Apple, then that's suggesting that what Apple wants to do is make a move up to the 163.75 area. The second chart that I was looking at intraday here was Microsoft, again, looking for some kind of signals out here. And we take a look at signals out here. Take a look at Microsoft, traded into the swing point from down on the trading session of June the 13th. That has volume of 46 million shares. Now, we're at 14 million right now. 14 million shares is equating to a run rate at day's end of about 20 million shares. Well, you want to talk about a test and rejection out here. Now, in the case of Microsoft, it only has two profile levels. That's because the center is also at the bottom. And that bottom, which has strong support level, is 245.55. Microsoft is signaling to you and I that it wants to run all the way up to that 268.30 level. Folks, thanks so much for listening in. Stay tuned. You've got 2 more wonderful hours up next. Don't forget, tomorrow morning, I'm going to be recording the show between 8 and 9. It'll be archived. It'll be replayed between 1 and 2. We'll try to make it as pertinent as we can for that session. Have a terrific Thursday, folks. I look forward to seeing you on Fantastic Friday.